Pondering, pondering, pondering this morning. Good morning. Oh, my chuckle. Some people now are identifying with how I start everything at 4:44 a.m. in the morning every day. Title for today: OPPT and Symbols of the Occult Illuminati. Paul Short wrote an article that was posted on ZenGardner.com linking the One People's public trust with the Occult Illuminati. To me, there is a serious flaw in his reasoning, even though I do get it that lots of the world is still trapped in that old paradigm mindset. The idea that dark, powerfully evil forces are in control of this world has been around for a long time and is embraced by the religious control system put in place to control the minds of the people. It has been highly effective. However, new energies are sweeping the planet, wave after wave. This is Carl Jung's enantiodromia, the reverse flow of energy. That reverse flow is exactly what the OPPT is all about. It is a return to the law of one, monism instead of dualism, a return to prime source, to the ultimate creator of all that is. This does not yet register with a lot of people like Mr. Short, who is still caught in the old ways. All symbols and occult hidden meanings now mean the opposite of what they meant before. It's been turned upside down. Until we can see that and know it in our heart, we will continue to resist the changes for good that are upon us. Let me start by saying I fully understand how difficult it is to get out of the old mindset of seeing the dark forces as almost omnipotent, which they are not and never were, but we have perceived them and given them a certain omnipotent quality, an all-powerful quality. What the dark wants, the dark gets. We've been in that mindset for a long time, and I don't have to look any further back than my own Christian upbringing. The devil, as a roaring lion, walks about, seeking whom he may devour. The devil is the god of this world, or Satan is the god of this world. I mean, we've had it implanted that the dark forces took control of the world, and it appeared to be true. But it's a belief system. It's a belief system that, well, it seemed to be meant for evil, but prime source meant it for good. Now let me get into Mr. Short's article. I'm going to read just a little bit of it. The first thing that set off his mental siren was that they claimed to have freed all of the one people on earth by using the elite's tools of control against them on the one people's behalf. They set up a trust and bonded everyone to it without anyone's knowledge or consent, thus giving them their rights back. Excuse me? No one does anything on my behalf without my consent. No one bonds me to anything, and no one gives me rights. You're born with rights. Rights given are privileges. Woo. If you just read that much of Mr. Short's article and think, you will understand the fallacy of everything that comes after it. Everything that comes after it is nonsense to the person who sees it. To the person who doesn't see it and is still in that mindset, oh my God, it's the same old New World Order plan of domination and control. They don't get it yet. And there's things in my life that I don't get yet. I'm struggling with some things where the old paradigm and the new paradigm still clash in me. So I have mercy and compassion for those that don't get it, because I know what it feels like to want to get it and not quite be able to get there. But let's go back and look here at what Paul is saying. They did this. They used the elite's control against them. They inverted it, in other words. They inverted the control system, the slavery system, and turned it upside down. They did do that. Heather did do that. Okay? And they bonded everyone to it without anyone's knowledge or consent. My God, think about it for a minute. Isn't that exactly what the Illuminati did? They bonded everybody to it without their knowledge or consent. But the One People's Public Trust did it a little bit differently. The Illuminati, when they bonded everyone to it without their knowledge or consent, when they took over the trust that is each of us, that the Creator invested or vested each of us with, they didn't tell anybody. They kept it occult. They kept it hidden. They kept it secret. The One People's Public Trust broadcast it to the world. Hey, look at this, they said. Look at this. Look at what we have done on your behalf. We have not given you back your rights. We've taken you back to Prime Source and said that you never lost them in the first place. You only thought you did. You were tricked. You were deceived. And the whole world was. And we were all put into this matrix without our consent, without anybody telling us what the game was all about, without knowing anything of the truth that ultimately there is only one. Now, he goes on, they're promoting one people, one consciousness, one world government, one world digital currency. And this one, that collective everything, a new paradigm, sounds like the New World Order. It is a New World Order. It is a New World Order. But it's not the New World Order that David Icke and Alex Jones and all of the conspiracy theorists warn us about. It's a totally different New World Order. It's a New World Order that takes it back to truth. Now people say, why didn't they tell us the truth about the money from the beginning? Well, I don't have all the answers. I'm not on the inside. But I know what I feel. I know what I see, at least in the parts that I do know. I don't know everything. But what I see is they had to put a value in the Uniform Commercial Code. Everything is equated to a price tag, a numerical value, of a numerical monetary value. That's how the old system worked. Everything had a price tag on it. So that's how they had to do it, to implode the old system and expose it for what it was. It's the unveiling. It's not the occult hiding of something. It's the unveiling of something, or the reverse of what we've always known before. That's why the One People's Public Trust is so powerful. It reverses the mind control, although it doesn't do it like that, you see. It reverses it, but we still have to get it. And Paul Short and Zen Gardner and all the people that are railing against it don't get it yet. They don't get it yet. The atheists that don't believe that there is one source or a prime creator or an all that is that we call God, they don't believe that. So it's really hard for those people to get it. But it's just as hard for the people that do believe in God and define God according to the old paradigm of religious control. Of this whole thing is a fight between good and evil, the duality, the dueling of opposites, instead of the dancing of opposites. The new paradigm does everything the old paradigm does, but it makes it conscious. It doesn't hide it from us. I'm glad Heather bonded me to the One People's Public Trust, which is not a new trust. It's one that was revealed in 1776 with the Declaration of Independence, followed by the Constitution. That's why it's 1776, because that was like an enlightenment. And you say, well, that's the year that the Illuminati was born. Yeah, isn't that strange? Isn't that amazing that the seeds of freedom from oppression were born at the same time that that other seeds of oppression, not freedom from oppression, of oppression itself, were born and magnified. Both were planted at the same time in 1776 in the collective conscious of humanity. Both of them were there. One was to remain hidden, and the other was to be revealed. And it was turned upside down. The one that was to be revealed, hey, we're free, was hidden. And the one that became known or revealed in a covert way in the world, that one was the one that should have been hidden, but it wasn't hidden. That's the one that we operated by. That's the system. That's the control grid that was put in place by the Bavarian Illuminati, infiltrating our religions, infiltrating our Masonic lodges and other things. They infiltrated every structure and institution in society and ultimately took control of them all of them. But there's a reverse flow. There's an enantiodromia going on that changes everything. That's why wave upon wave is sweeping over us. And that's why people are waking up and they're seeing the enslavement of religion, the bondage of religion, so that we can liberate ourselves from religion into a spirituality that is oneness, that is a one world order with a one everything, because there's only one of us here. It's monism, not dualism anymore. It's monism. Everything comes from one source. That's what the One People's Public Trust does. And it reveals it to you. And you want to fight and say, oh my God, this is more of the same old, same old. No, it's not. It's diametrically opposed, if you will, to the old way that keeps the bond, that we're bonded to this trust. It keeps it hidden, and it doesn't tell us about it. No, the One People's Public Trust does exactly the opposite. It says, hey, you're free. We're not giving you your freedom. You've always been free. You've always been free. And the old system gave you privileges instead of rights. Paul's right. But he's missing the point, don't you see? He's missing the point entirely that, you know, they even did it on Christmas Day and stole the birth of our Savior. Pardon me? Christmas Day, the birth of our Savior, the birth of Jesus? Give me a break. Anybody that's done any studying at all knows that Jesus could not have been born on December 25th. That was the Feast of Saturnalia, an old Roman holiday when the Romans made Christianity the world religion, if you will. When they did that, they just adopted the pagan feast days and gave them a Christian meaning. Christmas has nothing to do with the birth of Jesus. Give me a break. So, Paul has done a good job of exposing the fallacies of his own thinking. And it's right there in his own words. He's thinking that he's turning, just like he did with the logo, the 1776 logo of the One People's Public Trust. He turned it upside down to give it a different meaning. There's only one meaning. We have always been free. We are all children of one source, one God. And that unity consciousness is not some nefarious plan to enslave us. Quite the opposite. It is the divine plan to liberate us and allow us to prosper and be free and to bring peace on earth and to unleash our creativity in ways that have never been unleashed before, so that we have the new renaissance, the new awakening, the new world order, instead of the old new world order. The old new world order has been around for a long time. We just didn't know it. Now we're becoming aware of a different perspective. And that perspective ultimately will allow us to come together as one, loving one another, allowing one another to be who we are, without hurting each other, without competing with each other, without trying to dominate each other because of our fear. And I know I'm not home yet. Neither are most people. But we're on our way. The seeds have been sown in the One People's Public Trust and presented to the world openly. What are you going to do with the truth that has the capability of setting you free? Thank you for listening. Namaste.